Have your ice cream.
Okay, and did you do what you were told?
I mean, obviously.
Ooh, yes, chef.
Netflix is aiming to start filming Nobody Wants This Season 2 as early as February 2025, with plans to wrap up production shortly after. While there's no official release date yet, the timeline makes it pretty clear that Netflix wants the new season to drop sometime in 2025. Adrian Brody, one of the show's stars, has hinted at a potential release window in September 2025. Creator Erin Foster also backed this up, saying they're aiming for a consistent yearly release schedule, joking about a Rosh Hashanah launch every year. Timothy Simons, who plays Sasha Rocklov, has shared a similar sentiment, emphasizing the importance of getting new seasons out regularly, something Netflix shows are not always known for. With all of this lining up, September 2025 seems like a strong possibility for Season 2. Here's everything we know so far about what's coming next. While Nobody Wants This Season 1 wraps up nicely, it still leaves plenty of unanswered questions that need to be tackled in Season 2. Since its release, the Kristen Bell rom-com has earned praise for diving into the challenges of a relationship where the partners come from different family backgrounds and religions. Joanne and Noah seem like a perfect match in many ways. They have great chemistry, share the same sense of humor, and show love in similar ways. But their differences create hurdles, especially when it comes to religion. Joanne is agnostic, while Noah is Jewish. On top of that, Joanne comes from a contentious divorced family, whereas Noah's parents are happily married immigrants. He's open and vulnerable, while she uses humor as a defense mechanism. Throughout the season, they manage to compromise on most of their differences, but religion becomes a major sticking point that impacts the season's ending. The show leaves several big questions about their future, as well as their friends and families, which Season 2 will need to address. With that said, one of the more uncomfortable subplots in Nobody Wants This is the growing friendship between Sasha and Morgan. These two are often dubbed the loser siblings, which brings them together in a way that isn't inherently bad. The issue lies in Sasha hiding their communication and lying to Esther about it, which makes their intentions seem questionable. Morgan also confesses to Joanne early on that she had a sex dream about Sasha and admits she tends to make questionable sexual choices, especially when thrift shopping. By the Season 1 finale, she points out to Sasha that their friendship is a bit off-kilter. All these signs suggest there could be a messy affair brewing where Sasha might cheat on Esther with Morgan. That kind of drama could really shake up the show's dynamics, so hopefully Nobody Wants This doesn't go down that path. That said, it seems like Season 2 will need to address this subplot in some way. Furthermore, Season 1 makes it clear that Noah can't get promoted to head rabbi at the temple if he's with a non-Jewish woman. He believes it's impossible, and the current head rabbi won't even bring up his name to the board unless Joanne considers converting. The issue is that the show doesn't introduce any temple board members, so it's not clear if anyone in power has actually said Noah can't have the job. If Nobody Wants This gets renewed for Season 2, they'll need to bring in the board members and show their attitudes on the topic. Over the last 10 years, policies have shifted to be more accepting of rabbis and rabbinical candidates with non-Jewish partners. It would be interesting to see at least one person in power who's open to having a head rabbi in an interfaith marriage. Steve Leder, the former senior rabbi of Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Los Angeles, even served as a consultant on the show. The Wilshire Boulevard Temple is part of Reform Judaism. From the first episode in Season 1, it's established that Joanne and Morgan host a podcast called Nobody Wants This, which Spotify is considering buying. They have a few meetings with company reps about the idea, even pitching live shows to make themselves more attractive as an acquisition. However, the series drops the plotline about the podcast in the last 2 episodes of the season. Additionally, Nobody Wants This introduces a dilemma that could jeopardize their business deal. After Joanne starts dating Noah, she begins sharing less about her love life to respect his privacy, but this decision doesn't sit well with the audience. Since Morgan and Joanne's podcast covers sex and relationships in the modern world, Joanne's choice about what to share could negatively affect their chances of landing the Spotify deal. Nobody Wants This Season 2 will need to clarify the status of the podcast and whether Spotify ends up picking them up. And let's not forget that Miriam is a supporting character with limited character development in Season 1, but Erin Foster has already hinted at a potential direction for her in Season 2. In Episode 4, Miriam Rocklov rushes home in a panic because her friend texted her crush Caleb saying Miriam likes you. Sasha creates a fake account for a different girl with the same first name and messages Caleb, asking him out to keep the crush hidden. Caleb replies to Sasha and Miriam saying he likes a different Miriam. Miriam gets excited thinking it's her, but the storyline just ends there. This interaction could set up a deeper relationship between Miriam and her dad, furthering his character development. However, there's room to expand this storyline in Season 2. It would be interesting to see how Miriam behaves outside her family, as she seems like a foil to Joanne in many ways. They both don't fit into the Rocklov image. One of the biggest oversights in Season 1 was not establishing what type of Judaism Noah and Temple Chai practice. Rules, attitudes, and cultural practices vary greatly depending on the branch. Since they didn't clarify whether it's family-taught, more traditional, or part of a more conservative movement, it's unclear whether Noah's views on interfaith marriage come from personal values, the congregation's attitudes, or established rules. Each explanation is equally plausible. His parents may have stricter views than Rabbi Shira, pointing to a more family-centered approach. Alternatively, Temple Chai could be part of a more traditional or conservative Jewish movement. In Season 2, Nobody Wants This needs to address this question, especially since different Jewish branches have different rules about interfaith marriages for both the congregation and rabbis. Piggybacking off the type of Judaism practiced, Season 2 also needs to clarify whether interfaith couples exist at Temple Chai. In Season 1, Noah mentions that marrying a Jewish person and a non-Jewish person would be an issue. According to an article by Evelyn Frick on Hey Alma, a conservative Jewish rabbi wouldn't be allowed to perform an interfaith wedding, but Reform rabbis are discouraged from doing so but not outright disallowed. Even if Temple Chai is part of conservative Judaism, the Rabbinical Assembly encourages welcoming non-Jewish spouses. Given the prevalence of interfaith marriages, it's unlikely that Temple Chai has zero interfaith couples. Since Noah and Joanne stay together at the end of Season 1, the second season could introduce an interfaith couple, offering the lead characters external support. In the final episode of Season 1, Joanne decides to convert to Judaism somewhat spur of the moment because she loves Noah. While her intentions are good, she doesn't fully grasp the implications and requirements involved. After she shares the news with Noah, he tells a few people at the bat mitzvah and the head rabbi, potentially signaling that Joanne is converting. This situation could lead to some drama if she changes her mind, especially since Bina, who disapproves of Noah and Joanne's relationship, might take the news poorly. The head rabbi could also be upset. How others react to Joanne's decision to possibly back out is still up in the air. Some Jewish writers and viewers expressed concern on social media before the series aired, fearing it might rely on stereotypes. A common complaint was the use of the overbearing Jewish mom stereotype, which definitely needs to be addressed in Season 2. Since Nobody Wants This already established Bina with this personality, it can't just be retconned to make her kind and accepting. But Season 2 could offer more depth to her character. She doesn't have to fully embrace Joanne, but there's room for a more nuanced portrayal in the second season. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.